Who find a sailor boy?
Oh no!
Who find a sailor boy?
Oh no!
Who find a sailor boy has a white steamboat? And when Popeye needs muscle, Popeye gets Spinach! Popeye is a sailor boy!
For the lentil and spinach dish, you're going to need the following. 1 1/4 cups of dried French green lentils or pre-cooked lentils if you want to get those. They're usually in the produce section of finer stores everywhere. Melissa's is the brand I look for. 1 jalapeno pepper thinly sliced, a 1-inch cube of fresh ginger grated, about 1/4 cup of coarsely chopped cilantro, a pound of frozen spinach, either leaf or chopped, some salt, vegetable or canola oil, not olive oil, and lemon juice, either frozen or freshly squeezed. Pretty simple. The next dish we're going to do is the lentil and spinach, and it's really a very easy dish to do and quick if you buy this. Now these are, how come this is backwards, man? So these are steamed lentils you can get in the better quality Kowalski style produce stores. But today we're going to make lentils from scratch because it's not that hard. Okay, we want to use our green lentils, and there's multiple kinds of green lentils. The most common kind look like this, and they come in like a bag, and they're in with the beans. And you can use those, but I recommend not using those. I would recommend using these, which are kind of a French lentil. You can get a whole paycheck, and they're organic. And these are not expensive. And what you're going to want is just a little bit more than a cup, maybe 1 1/4 cups of dry lentils. And you're going to put those in a pan, and then you're going to boil them for, how long does it say? 30 minutes at a simmer, and then they'll be ready.
Not a boil, they'll fall apart.
Not a boil, they'll fall apart. Okay, so like a simmer, right? So you bring it to boil, and then it's just barely ready to go. Okay, so we're going to pour this stuff in here. And we're going to add some water, just slightly to cover. I'll show you something else you need to do here. So that's about it. You know, it doesn't matter how much water you have. You're just going to be cooking it. But one thing you want to do, give this a stir and look for anything that might float. That may not be a lentil. And give a quick scan to see if you have anything like a stone. Sometimes they get in there, and that would break your teeth, and that would suck. And then we're going to put that on the stove. Mom thinks you know how to put things on the stove. Okay, and there you go. Okay. So for the lentil dish, we're going to need quite a bit of ginger, freshly ground. You grind it on the fine grinder. Scrape some of that off there before we get it. But you don't have to peel this. You just take a piece and you just start going. And when you get a heap about like that, I'd say that's about 2 tablespoons. And then we're going to have 1 jalapeno thinly sliced but not seeded. And they're both going to go in first. Okay, this pan here is on medium high. Let it warm up. We're going to put in about 3 tablespoons of canola oil or vegetable oil, not olive oil. Olive oil gives an off flavor. Well, it gives a flavor, but the thing of it is this has a higher flash point. It's hotter. We'll let that get hot, and then we're going to put in the grated ginger and the sliced jalapenos. We're going to let that cook for about a minute or 2, and then we're going to be adding in some cilantro. So we're going to be putting in a big about a half of a bunch of cilantro chopped up. Now you could use frozen chopped spinach, which this is, frozen leaf spinach. You know, they can come either in a bag or in that square. Or you could use fresh spinach, but I don't know why the heck you'd want to use fresh spinach. I would recommend chopped spinach, a thaw in the microwave, and then what you need to do is you need to squeeze the water out of it. And you can do it by putting it into a paper towel and squeezing it over a sink, or you can be manly like me and take fistfuls and just squeeze them over the sink and get that moisture out. You don't want all that extra moisture in there. And then just plop them in there and get, I'm using here about a pound, and I think that's about right. Okay, we've got our spinach in here now. We didn't get all the water out. We didn't want to get all the water out because we wanted to have some water for cooking in there. We don't want it completely dry. But I don't think you have to worry too much. Just squeeze the excess out. What we're doing here is just getting it warm, getting it to know that oil and the ginger and jalapenos. It's all in you now. What you want to get a spoon, bring this over here with our lentils. We don't want to use all these lentils. I mean, you could. Either there's water in there, we're just going to kind of drain that out. We don't have to keep it all out, but and I'm going to use, I would say, not quite 2 cups worth of cooked lentils. So you want about that kind of a portion. You could put more lentils in if you wanted to, but that's kind of up to you. The rest of the lentils will save for something else. Get it nice stirred up. Okay. Now because these are al dente, I'm going to take a lid, and it's the wrong lid, but I'm going to take a lid and put it over the top of this. I'm going to drop this down to kind of medium-low for about 5 minutes. Okay, I've let it cook for about 4 minutes, just to warm up and get to know each other. Those lentils were warm though, so I don't have to do too much. I'm going to add almost a half a tablespoon of salt. Well, not that much. I'm going to get some salt in there. We don't get it too salty, obviously, but the thing of it is because these lentils were cooked without salt, they're not going to be very salty. If you cooked your lentils and added salt, be careful with the salt. I added some ground pepper, 2 grinds, and now I'm going to add my trusty, I got another package I made probably about a tablespoon, maybe a little more, not too much more, of lemon juice. Going to give this a quick stir. Smells good. And we're done with this dish, and we will plate it. It could probably use a little more lentils maybe, but I think it's a good balance. I like the dish with more spinach and less lentils. You have that option of doing whatever you want.